But then something switched, right? How did the blue dog come about? Well, in 1984, Dad was commissioned to paint images for a book of Cajun ghost stories called Bayou. There were 40 ghost stories in this book, and Dad had to paint a painting to illustrate each story. And one of the stories, out of all these 40, was about a loup-garou, a Cajun werewolf dog. It's an old Louisiana legend and French legend. If you're bad today, the loup-garou is going to get you tonight. Kind of a traditional boogeyman. And Dad painted this painting. It was called Watchdog. And how would you paint a boogeyman? What would you do? Well, for Dad, it always started with an image. So we had this image of his old dog named Tiffany, painted her bluish, grayish, as if she was under the full moon. And it was actually the public over the next 6 years or so while he was painting these loup-garous that eventually called them the blue dog. And notice early on, the dog was very scruffy looking, had red eyes, and eventually the image got friendlier and friendlier. But what was this blue dog? What was it about? Well, for Dad, he realized that he could tell a story by using the images and the titles. Like this one, have you ever loved someone that can't love you? Or, don't turn your back on your troubles because they'll just multiply. See, with the Cajuns, he was always looking towards the past, telling where we had come from. But with this blue dog, it was a vehicle to comment on life today and even the future. But the whole series really didn't change until this painting. What is not in this painting that was in every other painting before? The oak tree. It's the first painting in 25 years without an oak tree. It's about 6 feet tall, and it's called loup-garou. And it's the true beginning of the Blue Dog series, and the point when Dad confirms that he now has a new Campbell soup can, a new pop art image that can tie all of his work together. And that's what he painted for the next 20 years or so. The blue dog in these situations, doing worldwide ad campaigns with Absolute Vodka. For Dad, the blue dog was just like a Degas dancer. To have ballerinas in a painting, they ask them all the time, aren't you going to get tired of painting the blue dog? And well, did Degas get tired of painting ballerinas? It's the same kind of concept. It's a challenge to paint the same subject matter over a long period of time, but how do you make them different? We got Hawaiian blues. The Other Brother. And, of course, hot dog chili. But Dad really never abandoned the landscape. Every now and then he would bring back the oak tree and put the blue dog back in the landscape, even doing, towards the end of his career, these things on, these images on metal, really big, about 6 feet wide, on chrome with really interesting technology to combine that pop art of the blue dog with the Louisiana landscape. Up until Dad's passing in 2013, he was always exploring different and new ways to create this blue dog and make it even more hard edge, even more pop art. And unfortunately, we did lose Dad in 2013 to cancer. This is one of the last paintings he painted called He Stopped Loving Her Today, because George Jones had passed away earlier that year. But we're still really excited to have so much material to work with. Dad was the most gregarious, fun-loving Cajun you'd ever meet, and he left a huge legacy for us. So we're excited to share with you guys and the public all the things he created, like these 15 books that he published. We have galleries here in New Orleans and also Carmel, California. Don't skip your sessions, but if you have a chance, we'd love to see you at our gallery. We've got a great show up right now called Rodrigue's Women, which showcase portraits of women that Dad did over his 45-year career. It's really exciting to see. And that brings us to our foundation. How did we start a foundation? How do we get involved in arts and education? And we have a short video that you can hear directly from Dad why he believed arts and education was so important.
Art to me has been a very driving force in my life. It taught me discipline, it gave me a goal, it gave me direction where I wanted to go, and it changed my whole life. And that's what I want to do for kids, and that's what the foundation is about.
What a lot of people don't realize is that the blue dog is something that George invented out of thin air. It's not something that existed beforehand. The loup-garou, much like the boogeyman, is something that had no real image of what it looks like. So imagine if I gave a whole room of kids a piece of paper and crayons like we do here at the foundation and asked them to draw the boogeyman. Well, they'd probably all draw something different. And the blue dog was the same way. So I think kids are really inspired by what George Rodrigue has created with the blue dog because he uses his mood and his imagination to create things any way that he wants.
In 2009, my father started the George Rodrigue Foundation of the Arts to keep the arts in schools. And that mission of the foundation was to advocate for the use of art within every curriculum and every subject.
Well, when 9/11 happened, we were in California, and I painted a painting depicting the blue dog with all the blue out of the dog. And we did a print of it, and we raised $500,000, which we gave to the Red Cross. 4 years later, Katrina hit, and then we did some more prints to benefit the people affected by Katrina. And after 2.5 years, we raised almost $2.7 million. And from that experience, we started the foundation to be more professional about it and to really have a mission.
And while my dad was still alive, he loved telling his story to students across the country in order to inspire them to be more creative. And that's why my family and I want to continue the programs that he started to encourage the use of arts integration. That's the use of art in every classroom and every subject. Because through arts integration, students have more self-confidence, imagination, and creativity. With those skills, they have a better chance of being successful for the rest of their lives.
After painting for 45 years, to form a foundation and teach art to young people is a real joy to my life right now.
So we feel pretty lucky that after Dad passed away, we didn't have to figure out what his legacy was going to be about. We knew he loved arts and education. We knew he loved educators. And it was really students and teachers from all over the country and the world that inspired us to start the foundation in the first place. And so we're so excited that we can continue all of these programs that he started. If we can go back to the slideshow. So through the George Rodrigue Foundation of the Arts, we have programs like George's Art Closet, where we give art supplies to schools across the state of Louisiana, To date, it's about $300,000, $400,000 in art supplies. It's about 500, 600 pounds of art supplies that get shipped to a school when they apply. We have an annual scholarship art contest for high school students in the state of Louisiana. Each year we give about $45,000 in college scholarships to the top 15 winners. To date, we've given out about $400,000 in college scholarships. We also have a whole host of free education materials on our website, available to any of you that may want to teach about Dad, the Cajuns, Cajun food, Cajun music, really, really great resources there. But the biggest, most ambitious program that we took on is Louisiana A+ Schools. And it actually has its own video, so you can get a peek inside of what we mean by arts integration in our classrooms. And you'll hear first from some experts in education why they think arts integration works great for students. So we can play the next video.
An A+ school is when you're not just sitting down and learning a lesson. It's having fun while you're learning a lesson.
I think teachers have realized that sometimes just writing all day doesn't make a student smart. Sometimes they have to express themselves through drama or arts.
Well, now it helps me learn more easily because I don't just get a mental view of it, I get a visual view. So I can see it instead of just having to think of it.
All the materials and just do it without the cubism, and then once we're done with that, we put all the shapes and all that. That would matter.
If we're like in our desk and somebody's having trouble, you can't really help them at all. They have to think on their own. But in groups, they don't have to think on their own. There's more than one person in the group.
We sing about math, and we sing about reading, we sing about vocabulary sometimes, and we all get to sing to it. And it's like a catchy song, so we will remember it when we can sing it by ourselves.
Q, quote, queen.
Q, quote, queen.
R, rainbow.
R, rainbow.
Arts integration is great because it opens up so many opportunities for students.
I'm having more fun than just sitting at my desk, listening to my teacher and answering a question by myself.
Because remember, in a tableau, your face and your body show the expression, and you are creating that vocabulary word with your facial expression and with your body. So remember, that's what you're focusing on.
The way I can incorporate the arts to my curriculum is truly amazing. But one thing that people tend to forget about after, seeing everybody doing so well is that this program actually brings kids out of their shells.
I like to go to class because it brings my hobbies into the classroom where I can dance and I can act and I can sing. I can do all those things that I do at home, at school, and no one will judge me like, be quiet, you're singing too much, you're doing this too much.
I do look forward to coming to school. Just the mindset that, I might come in today with a project, the idea of it's not going to be boring, it's going to be a good day.
My grades are better, they're excellent. This year, my dad checked my grades at home and I have all A's.
When it came to the test, all I had to do was sing the song over and over in my head, and I passed the test, 100A+, so that helped me a lot.
Well, when I'm in the classroom and I get to do those activities with my classmates and my teacher, I know that, okay, so I got to have a hands-on experience with this material, so I'm going to get a good grade on this test because I have confidence in myself because I've gotten every single way possible to learn this material.
All right. Or so we're so excited to have this program in Louisiana. It's not something that we invented. Anybody from North Carolina? So A+ started in North Carolina 20 years ago with the idea of what would happen if you took the arts seriously in all of your classrooms. Since then, the program has expanded to Oklahoma. How many Oklahoma folks? And Oklahoma has the largest network with about 80 schools across their state. And the program is also in Arkansas. Any Arkansas? And so we brought it to Louisiana about 4 years ago. And you guys, are so bombarded with so many trends in education that how many binders of Common Core or whatever do you get? And that's what we love about this program is it's not that. It's not something extra you have to do and add to your classroom. It's a way to work with you guys to just kind of enhance a little bit what you're already doing. And so there is no A+ binder. The way the program works is it's a 3-year implementation process during the summer and during the school year to provide professional development to the entire school faculty. This is a whole school reform model. It's open to any school, public, private, charter, pre-K through 12th grade. And it's a process where we work with the entire school faculty for them to understand the strong power of the arts to unlock all of these subjects. Because students want to learn, we believe, in ways that they learn best. And not everyone can sit down and listen to a lecture. Some people need to draw, some people need to dance, some people need to sing. And so when you touch on all of those learning modalities, we see that test scores go up, discipline problems go down, and attendance of students go up. But in our schools, attendance of teachers actually go up too, which may tell you something about the classroom environment. So we're just so excited to be able to continue this program in our state and add more schools. Did we have a good time? So today we first looked at Dad's history as an artist, painting the Cajuns, who they were, and the origins of the Blue Dog. Then we saw the video about our foundation and looked at our programs, why we believe the arts are important. And last, we looked at our biggest program, A+ schools. And we believe that A+ and arts integration can be a great thing for not only Louisiana, but the entire world. And Louisiana is not really known for the prowess of our education system. But I think we are known for our culture and our arts here in our state. And if our schools mimic that and reflected our culture, I think we would see a vast improvement in our education system. And we may be crazy to think that we could change this tide, this shift of ever increasing or decreasing arts funding, but I believe it can be possible because I grew up in a world where the impossible was possible, a world where dogs could be blue. Thank you.